Hello, my name is Brittany and I'm an admissions representative with Kansas State University Online. I want to start by thanking everyone for joining us tonight to learn more about our online food science master's degree program. I'm joined by Dr. Jeanette Thurston, who's going to spend roughly the next 30 minutes or so giving us a presentation about this program, and then we'll spend the last 10 to 15 minutes answering questions. Throughout the duration of this presentation, we will be monitoring the chat feature and answering questions as they are being asked. Some of your questions may be saved until the end for Dr. Thurston to answer. If you could now please take a few moments to locate the chat feature and just let us know a little bit more about you and where you're from. We would like to just learn a little bit more about you. I'll give you a moment to do so now. As those chats are coming in, I also wanted to let you know that we will be sharing a recording of this presentation following the webinar. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Thurston.
Well, thank you, Brittany. It's really great to be here tonight. And thank us, everybody, for joining us. And so if you haven't found that chat button or box, there's a long box at the bottom of your screen. And there's a little icon and it says chat. So if you can go ahead and introduce yourself to us and to everyone on the call and where you're from. So I'm seeing some folks from Richmond, Virginia. I actually just moved from Stafford, Virginia a couple years ago. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself here in just a few moments. Oh, so a lot of people on the East Coast, someone from Pennsylvania. Oh, and Massachusetts. Well, it's an East Coast night, ladies. It sounds like we're going to have quite a few folks from the East Coast, which is great. All right, Michigan, fantastic. And working in the industry, it looks like. All right, Manhattan, Kansas, fantastic. So Joanna, you can actually stop by and we can have some Call Hall ice cream and talk about the program if you have a chance. Of course, I extend that invitation to everybody on the call. Might be a little bit further commute for some of the rest of you. Okay, Iowa, fantastic. Orlando, me and my family are heading to Orlando, not for PepsiCo, but maybe for Mickey Mouse fun here in a few weeks. Fantastic. Is that everybody we have on the call? Looks like it might be. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. First I want to say thanks to you all for taking the time tonight to meet with us and learn a little bit more about Kansas State University's Food Science Master's Program. And I also want to extend a thanks to my colleagues, Brittany Burgess and Diane Leon with the Global Campus, who helped set up this presentation for us all. And we'll be helping to manage the presentation, answer your questions in the chat box. So as I'm talking, if you have specific questions, would you please go ahead and type them in the chat box? You can also wait to the end and we will open it up for questions. But sometimes some of the questions are very easily answered by Brittany or Diane. So if you want to do that, that would be fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. See if I can get my slides to advance. All right. So again, thanks so much for joining us here tonight. We're going to be talking about K-State's Food Science master's degree. And the master's program and actually the graduate program here at K-State University is really housed in the Food Science Institute. I am Jeanette Thurston. I'm the director for the Food Science Institute. As I was just making some comments about some folks in the chat box saying where they're from. I've been at K-State for 2 years now. I came from the United States Department of Agriculture and I'm back in DC. So I'm very familiar with the DC area. Don't miss I-95 traffic for those folks who know what I'm talking about. Manhattan, Kansas is a lovely place to come to school and a lovely place to take an online online courses or online program. So the Food Science Institute here in Manhattan, what we do is we really integrate food science expertise across K-State. So the Food Science Institute is not a separate department. What we are is we're an institute that has faculty members not only in the College of Agriculture, but across other colleges here at K-State University. As probably most of the people on this call know, food science is a career choice that integrates many, many different subdisciplines, right? So you have chemistry and microbiology and engineering and sensory science. So we have a wide variety of expertise spanning across K-State and across our colleges. So a little bit more detail on the slide shows you that our faculty are cut across 4 colleges and 9 departments here at K-State University. So once again, Food Science Institute, I'm the director of the Food Science Institute. However, if you decide to come to graduate school here at K-State University, either on campus or through one of our online opportunities, Dr. Scott Smith is the chair of our Food Science graduate program. And unfortunately, he couldn't join us here tonight. He sends his regards, but he really is the person that's going to be in contact with you and able to answer all your questions relating to coming to K-State for your graduate degree. And again, Brittany Burgess, she introduced herself earlier today. She's a senior admissions representative at Global Campus, and Diane Leon is also an admissions representative at Global Campus. And I apologize for not having Diane's information here, but you can reach both of them through online at ksu.edu. So, you know, I guess I should really just be asking you this, and maybe you can put this in the chat while I'm talking, but why have you chosen to join us here tonight? Why do you want to get, number one, a graduate degree in food science? And why have you thought about K-State? And I can give you some good reasons other students have talked about it. Well, first, you know, to answer the question on why food science, probably just about everybody on this call, especially for those of you who are currently working in the industry, you know that a food science degree, especially an advanced degree in food science, really opens up the doors to a vast number of career opportunities across the food system. Now, this is a picture that I pulled out of a National Academies of Science report. It was a framework for assessing the effects of the food system. But what I like about this illustration, it really shows the complexity of the food system. And in the case of a food scientist, I can walk across this illustration, this system, and identify opportunities for food scientists all along the food chain. So another reason why getting a degree in food science, especially an advanced degree in food science, is that opportunities are boundless. You know, in the undergrad program, just about all of our students have positions upon graduation, and that's true for our graduate students as well. And the starting salaries based on IFT, which is the Institute for Food Technologists. This is the professional organization for food scientists here in the United States. And so you'll see, you know, starting salary on average, I think maybe these are median. Yeah, these are median salaries, is about $80,000 for just a bachelor's degree. A master's degree, you increase that by almost $25,000 a year. And then of course it just goes on up with a doctoral degree. One of the things I wanted to share with you, and actually, you know what I think I'll do is I'll go ahead and copy this and oops, shoot. Sorry, I'm going to try. Well, Diane or Brittany, do you think you can copy that website address and put it in the chat? Or put the website address of the food science web page in the chat. So when you go to this address directly, or if you go to the Food Science Institute website, you'll be able to click on this map. And the reason why I'm pointing out this map with you tonight is it's a really fun map. You can really zero in on these little FSI icons. Each icon is one of our previous graduates, either a bachelor's degree or a master's degree or a PhD, one of our students who has left K-State University and is working somewhere in the world. And when you click on these, you'll be able to see what their position is, where they're working, and what degree they received. And it's a lot of fun, and it really, really brings home the fact that food science degrees offer an incredible diversity and career opportunities, not only within the United States, but then across the world. So I want to go ahead, this video, you can find other videos on our website, and especially on the Global Campus website. This is thanks to Global Campus that produce this video of one of our master's students here. This is Danielle and the work that she does. So if you don't mind, I'd like to play this video. I think you'll find it very interesting and very inspiring.
Kentucky has really taught me how to work for what I really want. There's nothing that's going to get handed to me. So if there's something that I'm really passionate about, in order to get it, I'm going to have to work hard. I am Danielle Druin. I work as a research scientist in product development for Beans and Tours. I do take pride in being born and raised in Kentucky. I think that as much of the bourbon coming from Kentucky, I think it's a great part of just our heritage in general. I had never had chemistry or really been exposed to it until high school, and then just being in the lab and being in the lectures and being able to be hands-on really grabbed my attention. Some of the exciting parts of my job are just creating new things, working cross-functionally with different groups. There's a lot of work that goes into creating a new product or even working on an existing product. And I don't think that you really realize it until you're kind of in the mix. So it's nice to see everybody's work pay off and then the products at the shelf, and hopefully people love it. I think that in my career specifically, I had almost hit a little bit of a wall. And so I was having issues getting over that wall and kind of needed that extra push. And I think that by going back and getting my master's, it really, helps set me apart and helps really establish me as a research scientist. I chose K-State for their online program because I needed the additional flexibility. I needed to be able to take tests, watch the courses at a time that was convenient for me, and still be able to maintain my current job. The great thing about going back for food science while I'm in my current job was that it was very applicable. And so even in some of the courses that I was taking, I was learning information that applied directly to my job today.
Okay, well, hopefully you all heard that, and I think it's really inspiring, and who wouldn't want to have a job like she has. So in thinking about, and hopefully you've put down in the chat some reasons why you're thinking about an advanced degree in food science and why you're thinking about K-State. And so I've given you a few ideas as to why a degree in food science is a fantastic idea, advanced degree especially. And now I want to talk a little bit about why K-State. So our online students here at K-State University, most of our students really are employed full-time. It sounds like a few of you on the call, that's a similar situation for you. And they're usually employed in food-related industries across the country. Oftentimes the employer helps to pay for the tuition and the fees of the student. And when you are accepted into our program, you will be given a graduate faculty advisor. And how these graduate faculty advisors, one, you could suggest a graduate faculty advisor, but those advisors are actually approved by the Food Science Institute graduate program. And Dr. Stott Smith would be the person to talk to about that if you do decide to come to K-State University. So there's a great deal of flexibility in your graduate course options here at K-State. And the nice thing about the online program here at K-State is there are quite a few different graduate courses for you to choose from. These courses are typically recorded lectures that you'll have access to when you become a student here. As you'll see on the second bullet, it says we use Canvas Learning Management System. You'll have access to that, so it's not like something you would have to purchase once you're enrolled here. And there's a real advantage because not only are distance or online students, but the campus students also, the course material is comparable or very similar, or in some cases the same between both the online and the campus courses. And just so you know, there are over 70 online courses that provide a variety of electives and options for students. So you can really take the classes that make a lot of sense to you and make a lot of sense to your future career aspirations. So we have a great deal of flexibility in the program. So So we have different options for the online program. So the online program, you have the option of report only. You also have the option of a non-thesis or non-report, so it'd be a coursework only option. And you do have the option of a thesis. Now this takes a little bit of discussion with the graduate program chair, Dr. Scott Smith. So if you're interested in doing a research thesis, please call Dr. Smith, or you can ask me a few questions tonight if you'd like, but I think a call with him would be really important if this is something you want to do. But I don't want to discourage you from doing a thesis. We actually do have students right now who are doing research as a part of their online master's degree program, and that research is being done at their current place of employment. So not only do we have this master's degree, but we also have a food safety and defense graduate certificate, and I'll talk very briefly about that in just a few minutes. So getting back to the coursework and thinking about the coursework. So for a master's degree, a non-thesis option, you need to take a total of 34 credits. And those are broken up by some core credits and then this block B, these other credits that you have some flexibility in selection. And then the additional credits beyond that to make up to the 34 is really at the discretion of you and your advisor. So the required courses that you need to take if you're taking this option would be scientific writing, food microbiology, advanced food chemistry, food science graduate seminar, which by the way, all of our students have to take online or on campus, and statistics, which, you know, you can't get out of statistics when you're in a science program, right? And so block B, now this is where you have a little bit of flexibility, but you need to take at least 3 of the 5 courses listed on this slide. So you need to take sensory analysis, principles of HACCP, quality assurance of food products, food analysis, or research and development of food products. So again, you need to take 3 out of these 5 courses, at least 3 out of these 5 courses. So a little bit about why K-State, a little bit more, I should say, about why K-State. You know, we've had a great deal of success in our online master's program. In fact, we have graduated over 250 online students since 2002. Every semester we've got, you know, anywhere between 10 and 15 defending their thesis or their reports every semester. And currently we have right about 83 online master's students in the program. The majority, as I said before, the majority of our graduates are currently employed in the food industry, but not all of them. So I'm going to pause there, and before I talk at a very high level about this food safety and security graduate certificate, and see if we have any questions in the chat that maybe I can answer right now.
It doesn't look like we currently have any questions, but I'll be sure to let you know if anything comes up here soon.
Okay, thank you, Brittany. Okay, well, I'll just keep moving then. So we also, beyond the master's program, we also have a food safety and security graduate certificate. This is not, you're not required to take nearly as many courses for the certificate. It's 12 credits. The unique thing about this program is that this is a cooperation between not only Kansas State University, but also Iowa State University, University of Nebraska, and University of Missouri. So if you decide to go after this food safety and security graduate certificate, you could possibly have faculty members across these 4 institutions. And this certificate is particularly useful for those who are currently working in the industry and they want to increase their knowledge of how to protect the human food supply from accidental or deliberate contamination with pathogens or toxicants or other things. So this is something really just kind of to add to your knowledge. It is not a master's degree, but instead it's a certificate increasing your knowledge in the area of food safety and security. So I mentioned before about the Food Science Institute, and so on this slide, you'll see the web address for our institute. This is where you can get more information about the graduate program. So if you click under future students, you'll see the graduate program. You'll get additional information. You'll have contact information for Dr. Scott Smith and the rest of our team. You can also connect to that map that I mentioned earlier. I highly recommend you do. Like I said, it's really exciting to see all the incredible career opportunities that our students have had upon graduation. So I know this is a really high level and quick discussion of our food science graduate program here at Kansas State University. But please, I want to encourage you to, one, ask questions tonight, but also to set up a time and talk with us about a food science master's degree. You know, we're very flexible, and thanks to COVID over the last year and a half, we've become very good at doing Zoom meetings. So if we need to connect virtually, we absolutely can. We can also do phone calls or emails. And if by chance you're here on campus, if you're in Manhattan, Kansas, or even in the area nearby, we can meet you and talk to you about the program and the opportunities of it. So some more contact information. My contact information is there. I highly recommend reaching directly out to Dr. Scott Smith. Again, he's the chair of our graduate program. His phone number and his email are listed there, but also feel free to reach out to Nicole Marple, who also helps with the program. She's our program assistant. And Brittany and Deanne are both available as well to help talk to you about global campus admissions, as well as the application fee that I believe is being waived for tonight's participation. So thanks to Global Campus for that. So I will stop there and ask and see if there's any questions.
Thank you, Dr. Thurston. We do have one question so far. While pursuing this master's, could a person also obtain the food safety certificate alongside it?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah, you certainly can. I'm not sure that maybe you would want to be. I guess it would depend on what your thoughts were and how you were gonna, because I don't know if you'd want the certificate at the same time as a master's degree. You could do one and you would still have the same experience in classes. So I don't know if you would necessarily want both, but maybe give me a call and we can talk about that a little bit further. I guess your graduate degree is going to go a lot further than your graduate certificate, I think is my point.
What specialties can you pursue within the program, or can you?
Oh, absolutely. So actually part of the application process is for you to identify what your objectives of enrolling in the master's program are going to be. So we actually ask you to provide details about what specific areas you want to learn about. And so these are things like food chemistry, food microbiology, cereals, red meats, sensory analysis, food safety. And so we're really going to want some really specific areas from you. So what I recommend is you can go to our website and take a look at our faculty expertise. So there's a link for faculty, and then you can look and peruse all the expertise we have and identify those areas that are of most interest to you.
Awesome. Can you talk to the average time of completion for this program, and if there are specific requirements, like it has to be completed within a certain time?
Okay, so I'm going to ask you to help me, Brittany, but I think I've got this right. So as far as the average time, that just varies from student to student. Our students, especially in the online program, are non-traditional students that are working 40 hours a week. Sometimes they have families at home. So it can take them, 3 to 5 years to finish a degree. Typically, a master's degree can be finished in 2 years. But it's really going to depend on the student and what else is going on in their lives and how many credits or how many courses they can take each semester. That's not an exact question, but an exact answer, but it really depends. And what was the second part of the question?
I was asking about the requirements for if it needs to be completed at a certain rate or within a certain time. I know the graduate school rules, but didn't know if there were any program specific rules that you guys had.
No, so the graduate school rules, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think you have to complete a master's degree within 6 years. And after
Correct.
6 years, your courses that you took the very first year start dropping off your record. So 6 years is you really want to finish in 6 years for a master's. For a PhD, it's longer. I believe it's 10 years.
Can you explain the difference between the report option and the thesis option?
Yeah, so the thesis option is going to require you to do research. So you'll have a research project that you'll do, whereas a report option is more of reading the current literature and writing a report based on the literature. So it helps you to understand the research process, but not actually doing a research project. Does that make sense?
I think that was helpful, and I'm sure if anyone has additional clarifying questions on that, please put them in the chat.
Yeah.
We have another question. For those who are missing one or more of the prerequisite courses for admission, what would be the recommended way to remedy this? Should they get in contact with Dr. Smith? What does that look like?
Yeah, so there's a lot of options. You could take these courses before coming, but you can also talk to Dr. Smith and see if whether or not you can be admitted to the program. Let's say if you're only missing one course, to see if you can be admitted to the program and actually take that course your first semester. But those are good questions for Dr. Smith. We have a lot of options, online options for some of these courses at community colleges right here in Kansas as well. And he'd be able to give you that information.
Awesome. Additionally, someone wants to know if online students can come to campus for some labs if required.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So online students have options. Some labs are online, and again, thanks to COVID, some of our, matter of fact, Dr. Smith's class. So he teaches food chemistry, and I believe he moved his lab online this last year. So there are some lab options, although admittedly, not all of our labs are offered online.
Also, does this master's qualify someone for admissions to a PhD?
So I don't know that any master's unless I'm not understanding the question, qualifies you for admission to PhD. Would this be a good step toward a PhD? Absolutely. If you get a master's degree in our program, doesn't guarantee you admission into the PhD program. It doesn't. But the fact that you've already demonstrated you're able to complete a master's degree certainly is a fantastic step in the right direction for getting a PhD.
Well, looks like that was our last question, but I can wait a moment and give everyone a chance if you have any additional questions to put those in the chat.
Can they unmute their mics, Brittany?
I don't believe that we have the settings enabled to do that.
Oh, okay. So can I ask, while the folks on the line, why they're considering Kansas State University? And even further, what are they looking for in an online graduate degree program? Great, good to hear. Thank you, Marco. Great. Fantastic. Sounds like a lot of people know someone who's a Kansas State alumni. That's fantastic. Great. Course listings. So I'm asking these questions because currently at the College of Agriculture, we're looking at ways to make sure our students are successful. And so, you know, what kinds of things are you looking for in a graduate program? What kinds of things do we need to offer to make sure that you're successful if you come when you come to K-State University? Love to hear your ideas. Oh, fantastic product development. Yeah. So when applying, be thinking about why you want to apply and what are the specific things you want to learn. What are those objectives that they'll be asking for on that application? So Leonini, I'm probably saying your name wrong. It looks like you want to learn more about product development. That's an area that you want to really focus in on. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, the wonderful thing, so Joanna just shared that, you know, she's been interested in getting a master's degree for a while and has children at home, which is really typical of our online students where they have families and they're juggling a full-time job or other things in their lives. And really online programs really provide that flexibility for you to be able to achieve your educational aspirations. Food safety and defense. Okay, Marco. Maybe reach out to me, Marco. I'm going to put my email in the reach out to me on that and I can connect you with a faculty member who really provides leadership to our food safety and defense certificate. Yeah, fantastic, Erica. And for those of you who are working in the food industry, this week is IFT, Institute for Food Technologists. So I don't know if you're participating in that as well. So we have two food chemists here on our team, Dr. Scott Smith and Dr. Umit Uchel. So Erica, those are two individuals that you might want to reach out to. And like I recommend to everyone, take a look at the faculty on our website and their areas of expertise and feel free to reach out to them and ask them questions. Oh, fantastic, Joanna. So Joanna, are you looking at an online program or are you looking at coming here on campus? You can absolutely do research at your current place of work. But a lot of our students who are doing the thesis option are here on campus. I see. That's great. Yeah, so make sure you reach out to Dr. Smith for that thesis option. So there are some approvals to get through that, but like I said, we have several students right now who are doing the thesis option who are online students.
Well, it's been great to hear about everybody's interests and reasons for wanting to pursue this master's degree program. I want to thank you, Dr. Thurston, for that wonderful presentation and taking the time to be here with us tonight. I also want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. If you're ready to apply, please visit our website. It's online.ksu.edu, and there's detailed instructions there to help you with applying. You can also reach out to us at online@ksu.edu to request an application fee waiver for the fall semester. Those who attended tonight are eligible for that application fee waiver, so feel free to reach out to us when you're applying for the fall, and we'll be happy to provide you with that. Additionally, if you had any questions that we weren't able to cover tonight, please don't hesitate to reach out to myself or Diane or Dr. Thurston or Dr. Smith, and we would be happy to help you out.
Thank you, Brittany. Thank you, Diane. And, again, thank you everyone on the call, and thanks for your good questions. Apologies for the questions I couldn't answer tonight, but like I said, Dr. Scott Smith will be able to answer some of those questions that I wasn't able to. But please reach out to us. Again, we're here for you. We can meet with you whatever way works best for you and at whatever time. So I do realize that a lot of you are working. And so if we need to meet in the evening, we can certainly do that.
Thank you, Dr. Thurston. Have a good night, everyone.
All right, take care, everybody.